village of Buwenda in southwest Uganda, people of all ages came together in September 1994 for a new and special event. Over a 2-week period, they took part in workshops in which they talked openly about their hopes and fears in their personal relationships. They used drama to explore problems arising in their daily lives, problems which are important but are difficult to discuss in front of others. Baron Oron was one of 4 people who led the workshops.
The workshops in Buwenda led to the production of this manual, Stepping Stones 1995. This manual is accompanied by a video which introduces us to the people of Buwenda and how they conducted the first Stepping Stones workshop. 12 years later, I went to Buwenda and met with some of the people who participated in the first Stepping Stones workshop. They told me about the impact of Stepping Stones in their lives. One of the issues that affected them most was that of HIV and AIDS. In this film, they tell us their stories.
The Stepping Stones workshops created a safe environment for participants to learn to talk with their partners and their children about sexual matters. They were also able to learn about different options open to them for practicing safer sex. They also learned about their right not to have sex if they didn't want it, a point particularly important for women who can often feel forced to have sex or to remarry after widowhood against their will. After the Stepping Stones workshop, I talked to my husband and told him what I had learnt. I had been afraid of contracting the virus, and so we decided to use condoms. We used them until he passed away. After his death, I decided to abstain for fear of contracting the virus. At first I used condoms, but as I got to learn more, I noticed that it was pointless because in our community, the men are poor and one cannot really count on them because they have nothing to offer you. I finally decided to abstain. Now it has been 8 years since I made that decision to abstain. Were it not for the Stepping Stones, I would not be alive today. Maybe I would have gone out and contracted the virus. After all, my husband had passed away after suffering with this virus. I would have claimed I was infected by my late husband, and yet God has given me another chance and has blessed me with a strong will. Maybe I have the virus, I don't know. But each time I have tested, the result has been negative.
From Stepping Stones, we learned about condom use. When we learned about condoms and how to use them, my wife and I discussed it and agreed to start using condoms and be faithful to each other. In the same regard, we took up family planning initiatives. Our 1-month-old baby comes after 5-year-old.
Two key messages of Stepping Stones, which was written by Alice Welborn, who is herself HIV positive, are the critical importance of care and support and reintegration for people with HIV into the community, and the fact that any of us can have HIV, or we may have family members who are HIV positive without our realizing it. The training helped us to open up, especially those of us who are already infected with HIV. It helped us to live positively. Secondly, we were able to form an association that brings us together. It is called the Bayambaye Yambye Women's Group. It is a registered organization with a bank account number. It has helped us to work together, to grow enough food to feed our households, and to sell the surplus to construct homes. The Stepping Stones training package doesn't tell anyone what to do or not to do. Instead, it offers participants the support and the safe environment to discuss many issues which affect how we behave in our lives and encourages them to reach their own decisions. Here are some more comments from members of this community about what they decided to do with their partners after their workshop.
We have lived in our home peacefully, with no quarrels, and have been faithful to each other. In any home, if there is love, then all can move smoothly.
For stepping stones, you could find one man with more than one woman, and if the stepping stones had not come, maybe I would have ended up infected. I may not have had many women lined up, but what I was taught stayed with me since. I have been faithful to one woman who is also the mother of my children.
As these people from Buwenda have themselves testified, more than a decade after Stepping Stones was first tested in their village, they have been able to explore important issues affecting their sexual health.